Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Professor Sharma, though I am the last player playing the inning, and I am going to play inning when it's a end of the day, we are left with very few overs behind. There are a couple of things I would like to share. One thing very clear, I am not going to talk any theoretical models of positive psychology or Indian psychology or Russian psychology or Western psychology. I would be taking you for a journey into the field. But before taking you for a journey into the field, I would like to compliment Professor Sharma, S.T. Sharma, with whom I had first interaction way back in 1982. And then I had the opportunity to work with him on a project. We moved to different places in Haryana. This was on behalf of EDSIL, Education Consultant. And yesterday when he spoke, I told him after that, I didn't find any change after 25 years. You look same, base same energy, and there are things which every one of us need to learn from him. At this, giving compliment basically it also goes in line with what I had been doing last, I think 23 years. I started sometime 1987 working in the area of aging. But I will just put a couple of questions to the audience over here. I just request you to just raise hand. How many of you are aware about the national policy on aging developed by the Indian Parliament? I could see only 2 or 3 hands. How many of you have seen the Mental Health Act of India? Roughly about 7, 8. You know why a mental health? Because last about 1 year I am a member of the Board of Governors of NIMHANS on behalf of the University Grant Commission. And therefore yesterday we had a meeting in Nirman Bhavan, and Professor Chandra, the new Vice Chancellor of NIMHANS, he said, Professor Chadda, we will have the management committee meeting shortly in September. I said, what are the agendas? And one of the agenda he told, we have reframed the Mental Health Act. I said, I was just asking, why there is a need? Who are the people involved? And then when I saw that document, I find there are 90% of the bureaucrats were involved in framing. And the same state of affair, because I was the member of the National Policy on Aging, which was approved by the Parliament under when Maneka Gandhi was the then Minister of Social Empowerment, 1999, and still it has not reached to the people. And similarly, we came with another. I'm most of the time I'm critical about these act and policy. And maybe you people can answer over here, the audience can answer after listening 1.5 days, or maybe you will be listening another 1 more day on the positive psychology, that how this mental health, this positive psychology model can answer some of the issues which the maintenance of family, this bill is going to help. How many are aware? Can you raise about the name of the full name of this is Maintenance and Welfare of Senior Citizen and Parents Bill 2007, which was approved by the Parliament in December 2007. How many of you are aware about it? Yeah. Initially it was first of all done by the Himachal Pradesh, then followed by Maharashtra. And now it has been converted to the Act. So I will give you some of the glimpses of this. I hope you will agree with me. India is home to the second largest graying population of the world. We say our aging population is somewhere, right? Whenever I'm abroad, I talk. Recently I came from USA. I was in some gerontology conference over there and meetings, and one of the projects we are carrying out, this is 21-year longitudinal project. And there it comes, we are aging society, India. The population somewhere of the aging population 60 plus in this country is 7.6%. I said, let's not go by that percentage. Go by the number. The country which has more than 1 billion population, the number of elderly in this country would be by 2020 would be equal to the entire population of Australia, New Zealand, Fiji taken together. This is UN data I am providing you. I am not going to give you demographic data. I am just giving you picture. Why I said this is. Although socially hidden elder abuse is globally known, and in your kit there is an article also which is on empirical data of the elderly abuse in India, in a journal which is published by Amity now, first journal, first volume and first number, you will find abuse of the elderly can take many forms. We talk in that what are the different forms. That is the focus of coming with this maintenance and welfare bill. That can take many forms. The most common being neglect of physical and emotional needs. This is the big focus. See, it's not the money which is coming, it's not the financial part. It's the physical, and on the top of that, it's the emotion where the intervention of positive psychology is required. I know time is running short also, but cut down, move couple of slides, then come to the focus point which I want to share with you. Physical and financial dependence of the elderly persons on the caretaker is the primary cause of the abuse. This is the general notion which we have. Changes in technology, value system and lifestyle have made the elderly lonely and vulnerable. I hope you will agree with me on this. This is some of the statistics. This is study done on which the bill was basically focused. There are about 237 studies which we combined together and tried to give to the Ministry of Social Empowerment, and they came. You see the larger focus, the elderly experience abuse from whom? Family members, the son, the daughter-in-law, grandson, or the kin and non-kin relationships. From their abuse is coming largely. Unfortunately, the abuse also comes from the people whom the elderly person is looking for protection and care. Not from the stranger, not from the unknown person, coming from the person towards whom he or she is looking for protection and care. You see the relationships. The data is in front of you. Here also it's suggestive of the relationship of the abuser with the abusee. Indian government have taken a step forward. Feeling various ministers speak on many of the forums. And they call it the Maintenance and Welfare of Senior Citizen Bill 2007, which has been adopted by various states. Delhi also adopted this now in 2009. In September 2009 becomes a act now. The three main areas of the bill are, that's why I am giving because many of you are not aware. I want to make this because a large number of students, young audience are there in this forum at this present. The maintenance and care and protection. These are three focus areas of this bill. Financial, health, protection of life and person, recreation and spiritual needs are the subcomponents of this grievances redressal system. This is very interesting, last one. I will come little later on this. Here, different components of the care of the bill, then protection of life and property of the old against exploitation, including physical and mental abuse. When Mental Health Act going on other one direction and the maintenance bill is going on the other direction. There is no compatibility. Nowhere it has been taken into consideration the components over there. Main objective of the bill is to create an enabling mechanism. This is major focus for the older person to claim need-based maintenance from their children, including adopted and step children and grandchildren above the age of 18 years. So they can claim the maintenance under this act now from their children or grandchildren, provided the grandchild of the age of 18 plus. So what a wonderful. That for the senior citizen not to worry. If the children are not taking care, they can just. The tribunal for that. No legal proceedings for that. And state to the tune of up to 10,000 claim can be provided under this bill. Great. Here is the statement made by the then Minister of Social Empowerment, 2007. The legislation hopes to instill a sense of security in the elderly population, which I also said just now to you people, and responsibility for the younger generation and changing the mindset of the people to create a caring India, affectionate India, which would take care. Agree? Just some of you would like to raise hand if you agree. Oh, I can see. Maybe roughly about 25% agree. Fine, good. Let's see what it says. So my question, is the bill really instilling a sense of security in the elderly? The question I asked you. Can we coerce anyone with fear of punishment to look after another person? Can we? This is a challenge I am throwing. Think whether you have an answer in your positive psychology. Can be. Can we have a danda in our hand and take the person to go and drink the water, take a food? Can be. You think yes? Okay. Is the seemingly affectionate behavior of the relatives and the caretakers a result of care or scare? Third question I am posing to you. Whatever relationship, whether it's due to care or they are scared that they might be penalized under this act. Okay. This kind of bill is likely to foster distrust and suspicion between generations. This is my thinking on this. And the empirical evidence we have been doing, we have done some empirical study in Delhi University in psychology department, and they were further continuing with some of these studies on this. To answer the three questions which I have imposed to you, leading to furthering of the divide rather than bridging it. Okay. A survey conducted by a student of Delhi University, some of the data I am providing you, then maybe my three questions which I have imposed earlier about the bill will help you. So, these are some of the findings I am providing you. 63.6% of the elderly persons and 78% of the young persons said that this bill is more likely to foster suspicion and insecurity. rather than it's going to create a widening between the generations. It's going to affect the generation rather than strengthening. It's breaking the families basically. Of both the sides rather than strengthening the relationships. Would you like to raise hand if you agree with this finding? Okay. The elderly person are not likely to make complaints. This is the truth. The elderly person are not likely to make complaint against their errant children, knowing that they will be punished by either a fine or 3 months of jail or both in this act. If they don't pay, then 3 months straight jail. You think parents are going to fight? They are going to complain? Not. It will further divide the families, break the families. Here as a social psychologist, scientist, we should try to work and re-strengthen the family on which we used to feel proud. Yes, here is Indian culture. We talk about culture, when we go in the West also, we feel proud. Yes, I have my Indian values, I have my Indian culture. If we divide the family, break the family, and they are the models in the best. Initially this model was started in Singapore. And they ultimately dropped this model, this act. And now we are adopting this. This model worked in the Western culture, not in the Indian culture. There are n number of examples. I don't have a time. Otherwise I could have given you from the field. If chairperson will permit me another, can I have 5 more minutes, Professor Sharma? Okay. Let me give you an example. When I started my work with a social anthropologist, John Van Billigen from University of Kentucky, we have published a book which is published in USA, me and John is the author, Social Aging in Delhi Neighborhood. We adopted a community in the West Delhi. One of the elderly person, when we were interview, our interview requires is a lot of qualitative data we had been creating. It requires roughly about 1.5 hours to conduct, but it took us 3 days, and every day we spent 4 hours with that older person. In between, he cried number of times. He was pretty old, about 78 plus, but all 3 visits, he made it a point that we must take a tea made by him. He wanted to provide us a tea. And my colleague, John Van Billigen, he suggested me, he said, Narendra, why not we help this person to get to the old age home, which is about Ojanam home, about 3 kilometers away from Rana Pratap Bagh. I said, John, I don't think this is a good idea. Let's not put in their mind. I don't think this person is going to welcome your idea. But he says he's in problem. And he had been owning a property, which he sell the property, he will get somewhere about 7 crore rupees. One of the meeting, we also met his son. His son and daughter both were working. Son was a manager in a bank. But my colleague insisted me, I want to show him the Indian model. I said, see what Indian families are. And this older man introduced us, like a snowball sampling we adopted. He introduced us with many people in the neighborhood. When we, on the 4th visit, we had been talking with him generally, and then he helped us in introduce someone. Then I told him, I said, there is one home, old age home nearby. If you like, we can help you, and we will give a recommendation. Social scientists have a recommendation will work to get a place. You have not to pay any money. It's absolutely free. It's a 3 kilometers. You can come on Friday and Saturday, Sunday. You can spend with the family and the grandchildren. If you feel like coming, they can also go. You know, this person who was so polite and friendly to us, he said, how dare you thought this thing? I thought, initially you gave us an introduction, both of you gave the introduction that you are a social scientist, you are doing a research on the aging problems. And here you have came to help to rebuild our family, make it stronger, you came to break our family. And this person immediately told us, he was so abusive to us, he told us to leave the house immediately. We went in Connaught Place to meet his son. We went to his chamber, we had a cup of tea with him, then we put the idea. I say, you and your wife are working. Your father is alone. There's a home for the elderly, why not you shift him over there? I can understand your difficulty. The moment you come home about 7, your wife come at 7 or 8, you have to take care of your kids also, their education also. And you can bring them. You know what he say? He say, I'm folding my hands, sir. मेरे बाप के माइंड में ये आइडिया मत डाल दीजिएगा. डोंट पुट दिस आइडिया मेरे बाप के माइंड में मत डाल करने का. क्यों? वाई? व्हाट हैपेंड? इसे आप देखिए मेरी रेपुटेशन क्या क्या होगा. मुझे तो दिल्ली से ट्रांसफर करवा कर कहीं दूर सिटी में जाना पड़ेगा. इट्स अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ रेपुटेशन. इट्स हाउ आई विल स्टैंड इन फ्रंट ऑफ माई रिलेटिव्स. सो सी दैट रिलेशनशिप. We need to really build it, really work on that. And it was an amazing experience for my counterpart, which was beyond his thought. Coming from a US, a professor from USA, he said, what is this nonsense this fellow is talking? I said, no, he's not talking nonsense, he's talking sense. There's a meaning behind it. What you are saying, that work in the Western model. Even, I think you must be aware about a movie, Bhagwan. I don't say movie, but that movie I saw maybe 3-4 times. And I gave a presentation in Marriott Hotel in Washington, D.C., where about 350, the Western European people were there in a convention, American Gerontological Association conference, you know. And they were amazed to see, I give you, if you open a Google site, you will find the entire presentation still lying over there. This is a model. This is why you are going. They're home for the elderly. And on that, without knowing research, so why I'm giving you this bill? Basically with this intention that let's put our force, let's put our energy to this. I'm not against the bureaucrat, don't think. Many of my students are bureaucrats, my friends are bureaucrats. But at the same time, as a scientist, as a researcher, we provide empirical evidence. Even if the documents come, we make people aware about the document, the danger of those documents. I'm not against about any bill or any act or any policy. We made a lot of changes. Professor Sharma must be knowing that we made a lot of changes in the senior citizen policies of the country. The policy which was approved in 1999, it's not same, it's changed. Many of the benefits, elements, and their stakeholder to be taken into consideration. I know I'm going beyond my, but they are also not likely to wait to watch the elder people. And I could see there's an agreement on this. The fact is that the law cannot and should not be needed to force a person to look after his or her caring, aging parents. The basic premise of the law is an attack on our value system. This act. However, there is no denying, at the same time, I'm not denying that, there is no denying that the elderly are being marginalized, ignored, and abused. Now, here I request you, think over it, how we can bring a blend of our positive psychology, which I say maybe applied positive psychology, practical psychology, and these kind of act, the bill. This is very essential to see how we can help. I want the benefit of this bill for some marginalized, ignored, abused, but at the same time, I don't want the family to intergenerational relationships remain very strong. Can we do? Theory is important. Models are, I'm not denying the theories and models. But what I'm doing, maybe we need to customize those. I'm talking in management terms, customize those needs of the society, of the bill, and then see how it answers to us. Some steps need to be taken to deal with this situation. Important question. Is the maintenance bill the answer to this social evil? Reflections. The bill at best can only be considered as a first aid to deal with the deteriorating social conditions of the families. It is totally unacceptable that children need to be forced or bribed in looking after their parents. Long-term strengthening of social values and family ties, I'm just taking 1 minute, is what needs to be focus of our work in this direction. Quick remedies is not the solution to being about the basic changes in the character of our society. Our society is changing, characteristics are changing, There are a lot of fundamental reasons behind it, migrations and other kind of issues are there. Thank you.